of seeing it. Very clean.
A Face in the Fog is a 1936 mystery thriller film from Victory Pictures and producer Sam Katzman. It has a running time of 66 minutes and was released on the 1st of February 1936.
The plot. So what's it all about, mate?
So what's A Face in the Fog about? Well, a mysterious hunchback killer known as the Fiend is terrorizing the city, and in particular the cast and crew of a local theatre company. Meanwhile, an intrepid female reporter and her fiancé try to lure the Fiend out of the shadows so she can unmask the killer. But this only makes her a fresh target for the maniac's murderous rampage.
So what did you think, mate?
So what was A Face in the Fog like? Well, this is an incredibly awful, cheaply made film with some risible dialogue and some really ropey acting thrown in for good measure. But it is amusing in its awfulness. It's quite entertaining for the most part. Our two protagonists, June Collier and Lloyd Hughes, are quite entertaining. And their boss, the editor, is hilarious with his kind of grotesque kind of stop-start overacting technique. And we have a comedic relief character, photo journalist, who is really irritating. He just trips over his feet all the time and does some incredibly silly things and just acts like a moron for the most part. And he's treated like a moron by the rest of the cast. There's an incredibly awful fight scene in here, one of the worst I've seen on screen, where I've seen playground fights more convincing than this fight scene in this film between Lloyd Hughes and one of the villains. And our plot makes little sense here, with a dart gun that fires ice darts that amazingly disintegrate on impact and leave no trace. And our hunchback villain is conspicuous by his by his inability to be noticed by anybody. He kind of prowls around, bumping off his victims without anybody seemingly knowing who he is or even noticing him for the most part. But it's a pretty entertaining watch, I have to say. It does feel long though, even at 60 plus minutes. If you can stay with the length, the duration, it's kind of worth, its awfulness is worth watching. But it does wear thin after a while in parts. So beware, it's on Amazon Prime streaming if you want to give it a watch. But go in with very, very low expectations. And if you have a easy funny bone to tickle, then it might be right up your street. So that's A Face in the Fog from 1936.